Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to look at how we can leverage AI for DevOps. So I think you have some experience of working with DevOps as DevOps engineers. So in this session, we are going to look at how we can automate your day-to-day tasks using AI technologies. So there are a lot of different ways that we can automate and we can increase the productivity by using these different automation techniques. So one way of applying this is using a certain automation tool. Another way is developing a custom solution. So in this session, we are going to look at how we can automate a certain task in the DevOps process. So that automatically helps you to increase the productivity in your day-to-day task. My name is Sudhita Bandara. I'm from Blue Chip Technologies Asia. So we are providing training and consulting for AI and emerging technology aside. So let's get started. So first we look at how we can leverage AI in DevOps. So AI is very broader topic which can be used in a lot of different technologies. So these days, ChatGPT, like a lot of these AI tools are really popular. That can save a lot of time, can increase the productivity in our day-to-day work. So as a DevOps side, where we have to work with a lot of day-to-day activities in CI/CD and project management, working on different managing different tasks and things like testing. So we have a lot of things to look at. So then sometimes those things could be time consuming and also can have different kind of dependencies that we are want to check. So by integrating AI, we can also improve the productivity. Also some mismanagement steps that you might have at the moment, you can remove all these bottlenecks and you can increase the productivity using these different AI techniques. So where we can include AI in multiple ways. Where is traditionally this applies by creating a customized kind of a solution where you have to consult a certain team of members like data scientists to create a certain solution where we can do predictive analytics, things like that. But nowadays we have a lot of automation tools that can help us with this task much more easily. So where a lot of tools runs in the cloud and these tools can talk to one another. So that means it can automate the stuff very easily and it can do automated deployments, monitoring, and do a lot of custom automation tasks. So let's say every day you do some manual task that can be automated using these different intelligent tools. So that is what we are going to look at in this session. So we are going to look at some broader idea about this concept, and then we are going to look at the tool, and then we are going to, in the demonstration, we are going to look at how we can integrate things like Azure DevOps into this automation. So it's mainly helpful to automate the repetitive tasks. So every day you are doing a certain task every day or every couple of hours, then that's called a repetitive task. So these repetitive tasks we can easily automate using these automation tools. So that is what we are looking at in this session, where you don't need to do this anymore. So you don't need to do the repetitive task anymore. You can easily use these automation tools to do this automation task for you. For example, let's say when you want to change certain work items, or when the CI/CD process happen, when certain things happen, then you need to take some action against that. So that action traditionally could be a manual process, but that action now we can automate, right? So the saving the progress into a certain document, or updating a manager, or doing a certain kind of a connecting with another third-party tool and getting more feedback from that tool, like that. So there could be certain manual things that traditionally involved in the DevOps process. So that is what we are looking at using these different AI tools, how we can automate and how we can increase the productivity overall in our day-to-day task. So here you can see it can be used for a lot of areas to generating test cases, execute them, evaluating test results like unit testing, QA side, deployment side, creating certain kind of work items, then updating, deleting, and checking the progress of the work items, whether they have successfully created. So traditionally, maybe the project manager or DevOps engineers, deployment engineers, or testers, they have to manually look at all these things every day, maybe every couple of hours. But now with automation, we can automate these things a much more effective way. In this session, we are going to look at different tools, how we can do that. Then we can also use things like optimizing resource allocation. So where we can minimize the waste and again helps to save the cost, increase efficiency as well. Where we can use certain, there are actually two different ways to achieve this. One is, as I mentioned earlier, customized solution. Other is the using these AI-based tools. The easier to start is using AI-based tools. It can have certain limitations as well, but it's really easier to get started and do the automation much more initially, make up and running. But if you have more customized kind of a requirement, then you need to again go with more custom solution. But nowadays you have a lot of these AI tools in hand, all are cloud-based, which can integrate and connect very easily to achieve these tasks. Traditionally, it used to be all custom solutions, but nowadays with this, especially with the innovation that coming from ChatGPT, you can see thousands of new tools are coming up. So where we can use the benefit of these tools to increase the overall productivity. Then again, another use case would be identifying and resolving issues, where you can detect certain patterns and anomalies that may have the human operators. Then it can be detected and warn again that. Then it could be based on certain log files, certain performance data. Then it could be, let's say, that information is output into a certain log file or certain Excel file. Then we can further analyze the data and make a certain kind of a decision. Then that can be again report to certain maybe a manager or another kind of a user automatically without human interaction. It's automated things that we can do that. Then improve decision making, because overall all the information, the additional information that we are gaining through these AI tools help us to make better decisions, right? Because we are getting more data points, more information than the traditional tools, so which helps to overall improve the decision making process. So that is what again helps to increase the productivity as well. So again, it helps with certain different patterns and trends in the data that's coming through in the pipeline. Based on that, AI tools can make certain decision and again give the suggestion back to the user. Again, in the CI/CD pipeline side, where we can also use certain AI tools to help with this process, and again analyze certain vulnerabilities, detect bugs, again analyze code quality. Likewise, there are a lot of code generation tools nowadays. Even ChatGPT-like tools can generate a lot of code snippet, can understand a lot of programming languages, it can detect certain errors, bugs in the code. Likewise, there are a lot of tools nowadays we can integrate into get the efficiency out of it. Other than you on your own figuring it out, we can use these tools to get most out of it. So that's what's the these days we have these capabilities in the AI tools. Predictive analytics also can be used. The predictive analytics side again involve analyzing historical data. That means you have to it's more like a customized kind of a solution where you have to build custom, you have to consult with the data science team to build that. It's a custom solution. So traditionally, all the AI use cases for DevOps is custom solutions, but nowadays with the innovations coming in the AI landscape, we can see a lot of tools directly we can integrate. So even DevOps engineers with little bit of knowledge with the AI automation can apply and use these tools to increase the productivity. So let's look at some of the benefits of the predictive analytics, like resource optimization and continuous improvement can be we can achieve using this. And also we can plan capacity and optimization. Let's say certain projects, how many number of teams are needed, based on the workload, we can do that. So traditionally, it's from the project managers and from their experience only. But again, we can use certain AI algorithms to analyze that, and it can provide the recommendation for this particular task. We need this much of developers, this much of test QA testers, like that. It can also do that to make the agile development process even more productive. Benefits for AI for developers. So that's why, as I mentioned several times, it's going to increase efficiency by multiple times, where we get a lot of support and repetitive tasks can be automated. That automatically save time and effort. Then we can increase overall efficiency, then improve the accuracy. Accuracy, traditionally, some of the data points that validate through human, like the person in charge. That's the person that making the decision. But again, we can get the support from these AI tools to improve the accuracy and get more intelligent analytics from this tool. Again, it's have the scalability and flexibility option. So most of these tools are not only supporting for one user, two user, like that. It can scale for hundreds and thousands of users. So that's scaling factor also there, because most of these tools nowadays are connecting in the cloud. So in the cloud, we can increase the number of users, any number. There's no certain limit is there. That's again really advantage. Then cost optimization. So these tools again is really cost flexible. They have like a couple of dollars per month, or that's kind of optimization. So there's not any bigger cost involved to get started with the project. So traditionally, if you develop this AI solution, let's say for certain use case, if you implemented a custom solution, it would be a couple of thousands of dollars to get started with. But here, all these solutions again charge like a subscription, a monthly basis, and most of these tools have free versions, free trial as well. So you can free test whether it's suitable for your work, and if you are satisfied, you can pay like a monthly fee. Again, it's less than $100. Most of these like $10, $20 in that range. Again, based on the usage, if you see this is really useful, really productive for you, then we can again increase. Of course, that's anyway we need to pay for any of the services like that, but it's ultimately helps to increase the productivity and save the time, especially a lot of repetitive tasks can be automated from them. Then again, these tools are managed with high level of security and compliances. Again, these are cloud-based solutions where they manage a lot of high-end security in terms of your data protections and things like that. And fast time to market. That means we get to use a lot of latest features, latest techniques, because again, we are using these solutions in cloud environment. That means when the new version or new feature released, you get to use all these things. Because of that, end user, in this case, DevOps engineers, get benefit of latest features. So let's say we discuss about a certain tool, but within a couple of weeks, couple of months, they might have a lot of updates added into their platform. So because of that, we get to see a lot of more benefits adding in every day into the process. So the main tool we are going to discuss today is called Zapier. The Zapier automation. So this is automation environment, really easy to use, and everyone can start. And it have a direct connectivity for a lot of DevOps tools that we are going to use. So that's why we are using this tool. And it's not only supporting DevOps, you can use for other automations as well. But at the moment, we are going to discuss what is Zapier and how it can be leveraged for automation with Azure DevOps. So Zapier is a automation platform. It can be used for email marketing, project management, social media, like automating a lot of different tasks. And the main benefit is you have a free tier to get started with, and then you can increase the number. It's again small amount of dollars you have to pay. It's like these are SaaS platforms, so that means software as a service. So again, a small amount of dollars you have to pay to even go for premium. And the main benefits comes in the plugins. So there are a lot of integrations is available with the Zapier. So in the demonstration, I will show like what are the different integrations that we can have. So you can see the benefits. It saves a lot of time because we are automating the task that traditionally used to be manual. And we can increase the productivity, streamline my workflow. So let's say you have a certain workflow. Do the step 1, step 2, step 3. That can be automate and streamline, and that can be mapped to multiple users. That's the advantage. So traditionally, let's say you did a certain workflow, a certain step, step 1, step 2, step 3 manually. Every day or every hour, every couple of hours, you have to do that manually. So now you can automate that. So that is the main advantage, and it can trigger based on a specific time, based on a specific action. Like that, there are a lot of customizations you can have. So let's say you want to do this every day, right? Or you want to do this when new work item created or new CI/CD deployed, like that. So you have certain trigger points. So you can check in every day or every hour like that. Then is improve the efficiency because these are automated tools. So once you configure it and set up it, everything will be automated and notified. So there's no interaction. Initially, you have to configure and set up the tool and the workflow. Then once you set up it, it's automated and running, never stop 24/7. There's no not going to stop. Like you can like customize that when you want to stop, but let's say certain tasks need to follow 3 steps. So always follow that 3 steps. Simplified integration. So there are a lot of integrations. So Zapier at the moment supports up to 6,000 integrations. All 6,000 are not DevOps related, but it's connected to other kind of integrations as well. But most of the DevOps related platforms we can directly integrate, as well as Microsoft ecosystem, Google ecosystem like that. Let's say you want to connect with 365, Microsoft 365 platform, Office 365, all these platform integrations is there. Then any other standard platforms we can integrate as well. Then that's where the integration happens. So, and every month they'll be adding more and more integration. So you have more option. It's not like one tool, like multiple options you have. So let's say you are working with Office 365 with Azure DevOps, you can connect that. Or when you're using Gmail with Azure DevOps, you can connect that. Or Google Drive with Azure DevOps, you can connect that. So likewise, there are a lot of competitive products integrations are there. So that means you have wide range of options that you can select. So that's a really good one where we have a lot of flexibility in terms of customization. So ultimately, it saves the cost by automating the task without human involvement. And you have the scalability. Again, the free tool not available with the scalability. You have to get the paid version, but it allows to work in a team. Let's say you are working on a really large scale project where you have your DevOps team is 100 users. Then you can add all these 100 users into Zapier, and all the 100 users can manage these automated tasks. And they are not charging per user. That's another advantage. A lot of platforms, they charge per user. So here they are not charging for the user. They have fixed kind of a subscription which have unlimited number of users. So that's why they are really good with the flexibility for you to test out and see how good this tool and how to use this automation tool. And again, Zapier is just a one automation tool. You can find other automation tool and compare and see what is the best one to choose. But automation tool helps you to integrate a lot of platforms together to make it automated. So that's another benefit of AI, where we can add all these AI capabilities on top of automation. So it's two parts we are adding these all capabilities. So AI itself helps you to provide these intelligent data points, as well as we are adding automation on top of that. And collaboration teamworks, as I mentioned, like team account helps you to add team members. So all the team members can add into that. That's also needed. And there's no like pricing point for user. It's all based on the certain kind of workload. And also enhance customer experience. You can customize and do a lot of follow-up emailing, integrate with a lot of platforms as well. So Zapier has a couple of key points you need to know if you are working with this platform. And again, as I mentioned, this is only one automation platform. You can use other platform as well. One advantage is it's easier to start. A lot of the plugins are there. A lot of flexibility is there. Time to time, we have a lot of tools that helps you with our tasks. So at the current time, we have this tool to do that at the moment. So trigger is a certain kind of action point that happen when a certain kind of certain kind of event happens. So for example, we can see it could be like receiving an email, new entry in the spreadsheet, form submission, new follower. So in terms of DevOps, it could be new work item, updating of a work item, deleting of a work item, if it is related to work items. Otherwise, CI/CD, change on the CI/CD process, any comment. So like that, any unit test, new test added, like that. So these are a lot of triggers that we can select. Then SAP is this workflow that we are creating. They have called a name called SAP. SAP is traditionally a standard workflow. So workflow is a set of steps you can follow in this automation. What is a step 1? What is a step 2? What is a step 3? Likewise, you can have any number of steps based on your automation task. Then once the trigger happen, you can take some action. So what kind of action you need to take? If the work item updated, what you need to do? If there's a CI/CD error, what do you need to do? So likewise, you can take some action. Then in the actions, you have a certain integration. So where we can integrate with a lot of integration tools. So in the app integration, you have up to 6,000 integrations points are there. So Azure DevOps is only one. So like that, you have 6,000, close to 6,000 integrations are there. As I mentioned, all the 6,000 is not DevOps related, but all the DevOps platforms are there. You can integrate with almost most of the DevOps related platforms, and also communication platforms on top of that. Microsoft 365, Office 365, all these communication platforms, or any other platforms as well. Then monitoring and management. So it's not only helps us to create this, when it's running, it's monitored. So it helps, like if there's an error, if there's a performance issues, it have a look, tracking all these things. Advanced features also, there are things like certain multiple steps. You can set up the books, custom integrations, things like that, advanced features as well. So now let's look at how we can set up for one workflow. So here, one example of how we can do this process. After that, I will show in the demonstration as well. So Azure DevOps, everyone is familiar with Azure DevOps. We are using for this demonstration Azure DevOps. So we are connecting Azure DevOps with the Zapier, as well as for this one demonstration, we are connecting Google Docs. But in this slide, you can see how it connects to an email. So here you can use Azure DevOps account. So you need to have Azure DevOps account as well as a Zapier account. So you can create a free Azure DevOps account or premium DevOps server. As well as you have to go to Zapier.com. In the Zapier.com, you have to create a free account. Free account is doing some trial as well. With the free account, you have 100 tasks per month. So using a Zapier free account, you can add these different trigger points, and then we can get started. So the free account is 100 tasks per month. 100 automations per month is providing from the free account. So every time you trigger, you can see you can have these certain items. It could be once a day, a couple of hours, or certain trigger action can happen. So based on that, we can customize. It could be different kind of automation workflow. But in this session, we are going to look at how to use for Azure DevOps. So here you can see some of the benefits and how you can get started. So first thing is you need to go to Zapier.com and get started with the free account. So you can log in using Microsoft email account, or any email account is supported. But I would recommend to have same email accounts for all this, because when you are connecting, you can see the demonstration as well, where you have to connect with multiple services. So better to have all with same email account. Then sometimes otherwise you have to make sure that you are remembering all the accounts. So let's say, for example, Zapier use personal email account to connect, but in DevOps use organization email account to connect. So there's no error in that. Of course, you can connect, but better to have the same email across all the things. So if you have certain DevOps account, then you can use the same account to get the Zapier, and then everything can be easily connected, because in this here you have 6,000 integrations. So all this integration is a separate platform. Like for example, let's say you are integrating Azure DevOps. It's a separate platform. Then you have to log in into that. Then you are logging into Office 365 as a separate platform. Then you need to log in into that. So if you use different logins into different accounts, of course, there's no error in the Zapier. You can correct the Zapier, but it's actually the automation happen in that respective account. So you need to better to have one single account across all these integrations. Then the automation can better work in that, because let's say you ask to send automated customized email when a certain action happen in the Azure DevOps. So customize kind of a description updated into a Google Docs. Then if these are different accounts, sometimes might not work correctly. That's why better to have the same account. You want to check, you have to log into multiple accounts. That's the main reason. So here, this one is create Azure DevOps work item from a new inbound email. So that means when there's a new email coming in from the manager asking to create a work item. So just from the email, you can create the work item. You don't need to go to Azure DevOps. Just from the email, it will create a work item. So here you can set up email again. As I mentioned, you can use any email platform. So Zapier has its own email account, and as well as Office 365, as well as Gmail or other email providers as well. So new inbound email, and it's creating a work item. So let's say your manager asks to create this, and then that is automatically create a work item without even going to DevOps or without even opening that tool. That's the automation part we have. So I will also demonstrate another one. So this is the Zapier platform. So here you can see Zapier platform like this. Here you can see. So here in the Zapier platform, you can create new apps like this. So once you create the new apps, you will get to this kind of interface where you can set up a trigger and action point. So when you go to a trigger, you can see you can search. So here, that is what I mentioned. So you have close to 6,000 trigger points. And again, these all are not DevOps, but you have things like Slack. So Slack is a developer, so a lot of developer integrations we can have. So you can see Azure DevOps is there. So certain DevOps tools are there. Azure DevOps is there. Then other kind of some other platforms are there. So you can see Jira is there. Then if you are using other project management platform like Asana is there. Likewise, a lot of integrations you can have. So the PC is there. Then you want to integrate Teams is there. Slack is there, like that. So then you can see based on the different integration, you can have this workflow. And each of these workflow make it separated from one another because these are different kind of a workflow. So one automation would be one workflow, and another automation would be another workflow. So here, let's say DevOps. So we can use the Azure DevOps, and then here you can see we can connect the Azure DevOps account. Then we can select certain kind of a trigger events. It could be a code check-in, wish push, completed build, work item, like that. So we can set up a certain kind of a trigger point. So let's say a new work item. Then you can see we can continue, and then here you can select the account. So that is where the account selection comes in. You have to select a certain account and a certain project into that. Then here you can select the project. What is the project we are working on? The project will be loaded from there. So let's say travel store, like that, and continue. And again, this have a certain trigger item. So here you can see I don't have any work item in that. So let me create a work item also. So this is my DevOps account. So here I have, you have to connect with whatever the account it could be any account, that's fine, but you have to connect with whatever the account. Then here is my account, travel store. Then I'll create a work item like this, work item. So here you can create a new work item, create in UI like this. Maybe you can assign, or that's fine. I like this. So I have created the new work item like this. So now if you go back to here, so you can see, let me redo the previous step, refresh, continue. Yeah, to refresh this as well, because this is the first time we are doing this. It's only first time we have to set with the initial data points, and then after that everything can be automated. So here you can see you can set up this, and then trigger, we can select the one here. Then you can see different work item types also we can now select. We'll pick any, then refresh the fields, continue. So now you can test the trigger. So now you can see the work item I just created, I picked to do like that, is added here. So then I can continue with the selected record. Then then let's say I want to add that to a Google Doc. Then again, you can select account in the Google Doc, and these are some of the things. Let's say I want to create a new document. Right, so when the new work item happen, I need to create a new document, continue like this. And then in the document, you can select what is your document name. So these are the, you can see you can pull the data coming from Azure DevOps. So here, resource, this name would be the title of the document. And then you can select the content, would be the message text, description. You can have the folder root. Then you can see it's create like this, and we can text the action as well. So like this, it will create a Google Doc, right? So you need to check your Google Docs folder. That's why I asked to have the same account in all this to select that. So this is my Google Docs. You can see here, this created a new Google Doc from this. Like this, you can see it's created new Google Doc. Then I have option to publish this. Publish means you are running this particular automation all the time, right? So here you can see, go back. So now, so this second one, Untitled Chapter. So you can rename, right? Like this. So you can rename. So this is running right now. So how we can test whether it's actually running? So what you can do is you can create a new work item. So I'll create a new epic. Right. Right. Like this. Then I add the description. Right. So we can create a unit test or login page like that. So I have created that. Then I will double check with the Google Drive. So now I'm not integrating, like I'm not like managing that. So you can see, you can refresh your Google Drive. So here you can see it's just generated now like this. So you can see like this 839 test login UI. Just create a new document. You can see the timestamp as well like this. Then it's linked to that information like this. So whatever the information you have provided, you can add it. You can add multiple information as well like this. So it can be automated, right? So this is just one automation, right? This is just a one automation, but here you can see how we can clearly do this automation here. So he have option of 6,000 of automation, but all 6,000 are not DevOps. But here the main point is DevOps can connect with other tools like communication tools, email management, even social media, like other communications, like other automations, like could be Slack or other DevOps tools like Jira. So likewise, you can connect. So that is where the integration happens. So traditionally, within the tool, you might get all these things within the tool, but you don't get any of this if you want to connect this tool with another tool, right? Let's say you need to connect this with Jira or Slack. So then there's no option. You need to manually do that. So that is where this automation tools comes in, where you can do this in a much more dynamic and automated way, right? You can see you can do this in a much more dynamic automated way. And you have this one. This is we can even share this as well. Other team members, new work item open. It's going to create a new document. And if you are not using, you can switch it off as well. There's off option also that we can have, and you can see every time you added the new work item, it's going to add a new kind of a element. So likewise, you can see different options that is there here. If you want to customize this, just change here. You can see, let's say, like software like Jira, then what are the events we have, new comment, new issue, updated comment, like that. Then let's say Slack, it's a popular tool that a lot of developers are using it. New channel, new file, new mention, like new push message, new save message, new user, even new emojis as well. You get all these trigger points. So based on the trigger points, we can integrate. It could be, let's say, Office 365. We can integrate, right? So we have a new calendar event, contact, email, updated event. So likewise, we can customize and we can add a lot of these integrations. So first, we need to plan out like what kind of automations you need. So based on that, you can plan. So here in the slide also, you can see what kind of automation you need. So you need to plan out the automation requirements. So based on that, only you can create that specific automation, right? First, you need to plan out what is the certain automation you need. Then based on that, you can set up the customized automation requirement. So that is the best way to do this, right? That is the best way to do this and best way to do customize these automations as well. So that is where we need to look at how we can automate this. That is the main the discussion point in this particular session, how you can use these automations in the DevOps. So how we can automate and how we can use this in this session. So I think you have learned a lot of things in this session. Since it's shared in YouTube, you can rewind and see all the steps I have created. You can follow the steps according to that as well. So that will be really useful. So if you have a further question also, you can contact me from this email address. So looking forward to have more kind of a knowledge sharing sessions related to AI and DevOps. So in this session, we discuss about the main usage of AI for DevOps as DevOps engineers or testing team or developers, how you can integrate these automation tasks. Because main challenge is traditionally these are different platforms at the moment. So where we can integrate these multiple platforms and we can get the benefit. Even let's say you're using ChatGPT and tool, you have to go to the website and ask the question. But when you integrate that, it's automatically integrated into all the tools together. So it saves more time. So that is the ultimate idea about automation. So once with the automation, we can increase the efficiency and we can increase the productivity overall. So it can be applied for multiple sectors within the team as well. And also tools like Zapier helps with that in a much more dynamic way. Like you can start small and then we can add in more and more Zapiers like that, and we can add more team members to grow the certain requirements as well. So thank you all for joining this session. And if you have further question, you can contact me as well. And looking forward to seeing you again in another meetup session like this. Thank you.